Hey guys, it's your boy, Mr. Film Slice here. Whole lot of gang shit, spreading positivity to the masses. I'm gonna fuck your daughter, so be careful. I'm here with my co-host.
What up, y'all? It's NJ Big Dog here. I apologize for my co-hosts.
Wait, what is your name again? Repeat that shit.
NJ Big Dog.
Ah, Jesus fucking Christ! I just contracted cancer. All right. Anyways, before I start this podcast, if you are sensitive or you have your pussy is tangled up in your panties, please hop off this podcast and go fuck yourself. Get a life and suck my dick. Anyways, I don't care about your opinions because, like Ben Shapiro said, facts don't care about your opinion. I mean, fuck, I fucked that one up. Fuck. You want to fix what you? Yep. Thank you. I fucked it. All right, so I was gonna start this podcast off with Jon Gruden, but Noah has a much more topic he feels more passionate about. So I'm gonna let Noah talk about pop culture first because he has something that he wants to rip into. Noah, your segment is gonna start in 15 seconds. Pretty much this podcast, we're just gonna get right into topics. I'm not wasting your fucking time, unless you guys want to hear about my ad break when we get ads in the future. But fuck it. Noah, go ahead and go on your rant. I'll just sit here and drink my beer.
Oh yeah. So over the weekend, I saw No Time to Die, the latest James Bond film. One of the and I know I'm in the minority opinion here. Blah blah blah. I get it. Daniel Craig's great send off as Bond. The movie, from a technical standpoint, it's a great movie, and why shouldn't it be? That we should expect that from big Hollywood productions, especially one that took as long as this one did to come out, not due to its full fault, because you know the whole pandemic and all that shit, but they destroyed Bond. Bond wasn't in this movie. Like, it's a Bond movie without James Bond. Daniel Craig the writers turned James Bond into Ethan Hunt. I felt like I was watching a Mission Impossible movie, not a fucking James Bond movie. You took away his suaveness, like his cool. You took away his like cool attitude. You took away, and I guess it's not. You know,
fuck.
This climate not that appropriate. Oh, nice.
I just got cancer.
It's not in this appropriate time to be a womanizer and all that shit. Like, we get it. He's a flawed character, as he's supposed to be. It's based off a literary character. Sherlock Holmes was a heroin addict. If you didn't portray him as a heroin addict, it wouldn't be Sherlock Holmes. James Bond is a misogynistic playboy spy who would sleep with women to get to his targets and do what he had to do. It was fully acknowledged in the early movies that it was wrong, and they, played off as jokes, but that's just who the character is. That's who Ian Fleming wrote about in his books. That's what the early movies all portrayed. And yes, I get people are gonna be like, oh, but he fell in love in all the movies. Yes, he did. But then, if you actually watch the movies, once, things fell apart with him and the woman he was with, he moved on. Daniel Craig is a big pussy. They committed a third trimester abortion on the character of James Bond. Daniel Craig, I was never a huge fan of Daniel Craig to begin with playing the character. In Casino Royale, which is admittedly a fantastic movie, Daniel Craig's portrayal of him was Jason Bourne. He was more of a thug than he was a suave spy. And at the time, that was okay. Now, that was Daniel Craig's coming out moment as Bond. Every actor brings something a little different. Sean Connery introduced Bond to the movie world, so he's very close to the books. Pierce Brosnan brought his own sarcastic humor. Timothy Dalton was a fucking psychopath, which, I get people hate Timothy Dalton, but at least Timothy Dalton didn't completely betray the character like Daniel Craig did, or more accurately, like the writers have done for these last couple films. And I get that the entire Daniel Craig thing is supposed to be a deconstruction, and Spectre and No Time to Die is supposed to be Bond in a post-Me Too world. Like, you marketed it as a post-Me Too Bond. What? What is wrong with you? I get it, he doesn't fit the times, but that's the point, you dummies. I'm not going to watch a movie about a feminist pussy. I mean, even Ethan Hunt isn't that far gone. Ethan Hunt's a family man. You can't turn James Bond into a family man. That's not his character. So, and again, the movie's technically beautifully shot and everything. I don't have just a problem with the way they handled his character. The plot made no sense. It was convoluted. The villain's backstory had no real meat to it. Okay, great. And by the way, obviously this will have spoilers, so...
I mean, if you're... Alright, skip ahead.
So screw off, everyone. But the villain has no backstory at all. Great backstory. Madeline, who's James Bond's wife, you later learn, her father killed Mr. White, killed the villain's family. You don't actually see that happening, and it's only in brief references and a quick photo of his family. There's no context. Like, it's just like, okay, cool. And Malik, who I think is a great actor, great job as Freddie Mercury in Bohemian Rhapsody. The guy has one facial expression the entire movie, and he's in it for 3 major shots. He's in it at the beginning, he's in it for a second in the middle, and he's in it for the end scene. And he has the same facial expression, the same dopey. It's like in Captain Marvel, where she has the same resting bitch face the entire goddamn movie. There's no expression, there's no real feeling. Malik just looks like he's there. He looks like he's literally there just for the paycheck. Like, he's not giving a damn. And it's so goddamn frustrating when the last couple of villains, and you kill off and you kill off nearly everyone in this movie. Except, noticeably enough, you don't kill off any of the female characters. So Bond dies in the end, Felix dies, Blofeld dies, and Malik's character, who I can't remember his name, he's not memorable at all, dies. Yet, the new 007 doesn't die, which makes sense, obviously, if they want to continue with... and I don't even have a problem with her, like, she's a fine character. They really underused her, which is kind of obvious they cut out a lot of her role, because most of her lines were just bitching at him about him being old school, and it was just... She was fine.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's women.
Yes, basically. But
don't take offense. That's a joke.
It's a joke, but you're not wrong. But Moneypenny is still. It's just like you can tell they purposely deconstructed the James Bond franchise and then killed off anyone that has been really important. So it's like, if they want to go on this new thing and have, and I think the new 007's fine. She's fine. Whatever. I think she's a good actress. I don't really, but you can't then call the next ones James Bond movies. You can be like, oh, it's a spin-off and it's just 007, period. Whatever. The one bright spot, and I think this is universally accepted, Ana Diarmas' 5-minute cameo is probably it is the best thing about this movie. She is funny, she is bubbly, she brings a lot of action and the only sexiness to the movie at all. And it was a 5-minute cameo. And if universally agreed that that's the best part of a movie, how can a 5-minute cameo be considered the best part of a good movie? It's not. If a 5-minute cameo makes a movie, then the movie itself is not a good movie at all. So it's just ridiculous to me that people are like, this is such a great send-off. No, it's not. You're wrong. You're stupid when you say shit like this. And I walked out of the theater livid seeing what they did to a classic character like Bond. Screw you, heads. Screw everyone around this. Hollywood is dumping a fat load of shit on classic cinematic characters, and it is disgusting. Just full on disgusting.
I do want to. All right, bet.
And then I saw Venom 2, and I really have nothing to say. Skip the entire movie and just show up for the end credits. That's really all I have to say. Shitty movie, but end credits make it worth it, I guess. All right, I'm done.
Okay. That was 10-minute rant, guys. Congratulations for that one. That was great. I appreciate you putting so much passion into it. But I did want to say one thing about the movie before we move on, since I heard like a little article. So obviously the guy who plays James Bond, he said in an interview, a woman shouldn't play James Bond. I mean, that's not what he said, but that's the headline. Guess the type of shitstorm that motherfucker got. In the article, in the actual story, he said a woman shouldn't play James Bond. If you want to be James Bond, you should make a different character that's named a different person, not the woman version of James Bond. It should be like someone that's like kind of like James Bond, but like a different name. You should just copy and paste. Like,
and there's already
how they've been
things
doing.
like it. You have things like The Atomic Blonde, which was a good film. You have plenty of opportunities to make good female-focused spy movies. Just you don't.
Be original.
You don't have to. Yeah, be fucking original.
Look what happened in Ghostbusters. Look at Ghostbusters. Fucking flopped. That movie was horrible. They tried to make an all-woman cast. It went completely to shit. It fucking lost like tens of millions of dollars. And I'm glad. Fuck all you SNL fucking unfunny females. Go fuck yourself.
Leslie Jones makes me want to shit myself. I can't stand her.
On God.
In anything she's ever been in.
Yeah, movies are going to shit.
She ruined Coming to America too. She ruined that movie. Her single-handedly ruined that movie.
It's very sad
That's
where we're living. Let's move on to music. The big old fat load himself, the fucking ungood rapper Fat Joe, he said in a podcast that he thinks that DaBaby is a Tupac of the generation. Get the fuck out of here, pussy. What? Noah, how disrespectful is that to Tupac? Is Tupac rolling in his grave when he hears that statement?
I don't think he's rolling in his grave because he's like, who the fuck is DaBaby? Like, that, I don't think that even registered. Like, anyone that takes anything seriously in pop culture knows that that's the biggest load of crap. Like, there's no way that Fat Joe is just doing this for publicity. He has to be doing.
He did the same thing with 6ix9ine. Remember that? He did the same thing with 6ix9ine, trying to use publicity. But I'm gonna go ahead and talk about it. So, as a person who likes DaBaby, I know everyone's, oh, why do you like DaBaby? He made the same song over and over. Yeah, okay, listen, he makes the same song over and over, but it sells, and you still pay for it, so you're a fucking idiot, so kiss my ass, okay? He makes the same song over and over, and still makes it fire, but he's not no Tupac, okay? He makes decent music in his song Intro, which he actually was spitting some crazy-ass shit when his brother died. He made an EP about him, and it was a really, really good EP. I think as he's slowly but surely fallen off. I'm not like talent, maybe not like relevant wise, but like talent wise. Cause my favorite album from him is still Baby on Baby, and then it was fucking Kirk, and then it, you know what I mean, it just keeps going, blaming on Baby, then keeps just dropping down. And it literally, one of his new songs, it sounds like a Mario Kart fucking sample. Fucking what the fuck? Sounds like a pirate's fucking, you know those fucking things where you grab it, it pulls out, and it goes back in, it makes like the fucking horn sound. I forgot what it's called. It's just like, it's like a 14-year-old made these beats, and he's just hopping on them and spitting the same shit over and over. But like I said, I cherish DaBaby. He's funny as fuck for rap, but he ain't no Tupac. I think J. Cole and Kendrick are in contention for like Tupac status, and Eminem as well. And if you disagree, you can suck my cock. Noah, you're talking about the MGK and Slipknot situation?
Yeah, so I don't know. I just read some quick things. I don't know too much. All I know is that MGK was talking shit to Slipknot about, they were at the same festival. MGK was making some things like, you're 50-year-old man wearing masks on stage, blah, 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 blah. MGK, I like your new sound. I actually think your pop punk album was decent. Don't go. What the fuck are you thinking? You went high for Eminem and now you're aiming for Slipknot? These are the kings of their genres. Are you insane? Are you insane?
MGK won the mini battle.
You did not just say that. You're insane. Shut up.
Hey guys, that's called sarcasm.
Shut up. No, Eminem scared you out of a genre of music. You went to pop punk, the toddler of rock, and now you're shouting at Slipknot. Corey Taylor makes artists. Like, are you insane? I get people are gonna be upset about who's saying this, but I consider him one of the biggest voices in rock music, and you're coming at him, MGK. You stupid little boy.
The little boy, damn. Fuck.
Shut up. Make your music. Make friends with all your little pop punk friends and your emo kid. Go cut yourself in the club bathrooms while you're doing coke. Like,
hey, what's wrong with doing coke? What the fuck? Coke is good for you. What the fuck are you on about? You're trying to say like it's an insult, huh? What's wrong with doing coke?
There's nothing wrong doing coke.
Exactly, that's what I thought. Don't let me tell the audience about our weekend together in Miami, where you were storing lines in the fucking bathroom. Remember that shit? Exactly, silence. That's what I like to hear. Yeah, I like to hear that. Yeah, silence, because you know it's true. I will show the photos if you slumped on the ground with all that white stuff on your nose. Anyway, you want to talk about some sports? Wait, what?
That was ketamine, not coke. Get it right.
Oh, okay. I don't give a shit. Anyway, Jon Gruden, or is there anything else in pop culture you want to talk about? Cool. All right, Jon Gruden. So, Jon. Just saying. You've been eager to talk about this. Yes, because fucking it's the biggest topic right now currently going on. So, if you guys are living under a rock, you know that Jon Gruden was the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, but unfortunately he's not anymore, as he recently resigned from the position of the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders after some emails came out. I know, Hillary Clinton situation, okay? It's to be crazy. So if you don't know about the emails, unfortunately, as a white man, I cannot speak these emails on air, as I will be canceled. Do I give a shit? No, I don't care about being canceled, but I'd rather just not say it. So if you guys read I will read the first email though. So the first email, he pretty much said, is it Darren Smith, the guy who directed the emails to?
I think it's Darius.
Darius Smith. Essentially, he is the head of the NFL.
NFL PA.
Yeah, PA. And essentially, he said his lips are as big as Michelin tires. If anyone gets mad at me for laughing, go fuck yourself. That's hilarious. That is fucking funny. That's a stereotype that's not true, but it's fucking funny as shit. Okay? Calm down, okay? That's funny. But then the next couple emails.
True?
Well, I'm not saying that.
Here's the thing though, there was no, you can make the observation about anyone, so he was just insulting someone he didn't like, so can you really say there was a racial, even a racist connotation with it? You don't know what was going on.
What, the next couple emails?
You genuinely can't say that.
The next couple emails that he sent?
Okay.
Oh, we're talking about the first one still.
Oh,
okay. Never mind.
When he was crafting the
I was like, bro, come on now. Like.
No. When he was crafting the one where he was pissed off at the NFL PA, you don't know what was going on in his head at that time.
You know what I want to see? I want to see the other emails from the other person he was talking to.
You mean believe
WFT office, the staff.
Yeah. Well,
I have. You sent me the email.
time,
You sent me the picture of the. Let me look at the name.
Yeah, it was
Bruce. Yeah, Bruce Allen.
Bruce Allen.
I want to see his emails. His replies back. And the Washington football team is getting investigated, by the way. So Dan Snyder.
That's why all these emails came out. It was during the investigation that they found these emails. But again, it's like, who leaked these emails to the Washington Post to begin with?
Well, I can tell you one thing.
That's why I don't think Bruce Allen's has come out, because I think he's the one that leaked the emails, so they wouldn't release his.
Here's the thing, though. What was I gonna say? Shit, I just lost my train of thought. Wait. Yeah, you keep going.
No, that's all I really had on that.
I was gonna say something.
You want to talk about?
Mark Davis was what I was talking about. Mark Davis, essentially, there's been a lot of speculation that he was actually hiding the emails for a couple months. He knew about it, and the NFL knew about it as well. And they try to hide it because obviously.
Everyone knows. You really think something like that?
I'm not surprised. I'm just saying that that's the information. I'm just giving the information out to the public, the masses, that they knew about it. They might have known about it. I'm not gonna say they do because I'm not trying to get sued, but they might have known about it, and they might be covering it up. But I don't know. I don't know this information. I'm just a reporter. But yeah, so Mark Davis could be getting fucking his team sold away in the next couple of days, and Dan Snyder could be getting the fuck out of here. Thank fuck for everyone in Washington D.C. The worst owner in all of sports. Dan Snyder can suck the inside of my ass cheeks. You have the worst stadium in the entire league. Your parking situation is terrible. Your location is terrible. Your haircut's terrible. Your life is terrible. Your wife is ugly as fuck. Your kids are ugly as fuck. And you're probably going to be broke in the next couple of years because you're a capitalist big man who relies on real estate. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, the real estate market's going down the hill. So get fucked, buddy. You bum bitch.
You have some feelings about that.
No, because I fucking hate Dan Snyder. I hate I forgot Spanos. Dean Spanos for the fucking Chargers. Both of them can eat my ass. The dude who literally took away the San Diego Chargers team away from them because he's a selfish cunt and went to the fucking Los Angeles and flopped completely. And you know what? Noah, it makes me so happy that his team flopped. Oh, it makes me so happy. Every single game, you just see the mass amount of the opposite team going to the games. It's the best feeling in the entire world, just watching them just have no fans. But, yeah, Sam Kroenke, though, is also a bitch, but, I mean, whatever. I mean, St. Louis wasn't going to do shit for him. But, yeah, Dean Spanos can go fuck himself. But, yeah, essentially with Jon Gruden, your career's over. I want to say salute to you because you're fucked. You're pretty much fucked. The Buccaneers have also took him out of the Ring of Honor, obviously for obvious reasons.
I saw that.
For obvious reasons. Jon Gruden hasn't apologized yet for this.
Yeah, he has.
Where?
Did you not read the statement he released?
Was it really an apology though?
Yeah. I mean, it was like a corporate one that obviously.
But he didn't give like a formal apology, like I'm sorry, I mean, like I made a mistake.
No, he did. There was a statement where he was like, I apologize for I didn't, or he was basically like
he did there's no racist bone in my body.
I didn't mean to offend anyone. I said what I said, but like he actually like held strong somewhat. He was like, I'm sorry if I offended anyone by what I said, but I know I'm not a racist and all this, but like it wasn't a full apology. He held like kind of strong on it, which was pretty surprising.
See, my thing is I'm of the opinion that do not apologize for your mistakes because people are just going to use it against you to push you down even further and further. Well, but in this situation, it's different.
Well, no, I mean, I'm like, don't apologize for anything unless you like really, really mean it. Like, if you are gonna just release a corporate, drawn up, fake ass apology, yeah, don't do that. Hold strong. But if you really mean it, make your own apology and release it that way. If you really, really do regret saying or doing what you did. But if you don't mean an apology, don't have that fake apology, because everyone knows at this point what's a real apology and what's not. Because there's been enough times now where someone's canceled or someone's gone after, and you see these really, and they all look the same, these really corporate released apologies that say the same thing. It's like at this point lawyers have drawn up an official statement that they just tweak any little thing anytime someone says something slightly fucked up or has done something a little fucked up, that they tweak and put it into an already made statement.
You see the fake apologies that just ruin the real apologies. When people actually really apologize, no one, like, they don't believe them. You know, it's like, how am I supposed to, like, actually, like, make it seem like I'm genuine? My thing is, don't talk, action. Or just don't talk at all and just keep moving forward until people suck your dick. That's another thing going on.
Yeah, at the same time, you also have to acknowledge it's a fast news cycle. Like, by next week, we won't be talking about Jon Gruden because he's going to be irrelevant.
Damn.
I'm just saying, this news story is going to be gone unless ESPN decides
bro, it's ESPN. Of course they're going to drag it on. They're dragging on for 3 or 4 weeks. Are you kidding me?
You know they are.
Every time the Raiders play.
I'm sorry. They still talk about Colin Kaepernick when he's been irrelevant for 3 years now.
And that's another thing. That's another thing. They're comparing this to Colin Kaepernick. So, yeah, by the way, I have a race and gender class that I take in right now currently. Trust me, for the next 8 to 9 weeks, I'm gonna be ranting about that class because I haven't been able to rant about them, and I've had so many fucking thoughts build up my head. But today I almost lost my shit in class. So I said that. So this fucking idiot in class. By the way, if you are from my race and gender class, you're listening to this podcast. If you sit in the front, if you're the girl that sits in front of me, or you're that blonde kid that's in the graduate group that sits in the back of me, two rows back, you can genuinely suck my fucking cock. Fuck you, you fucking loser. You have no friends whatsoever. Fuck you, you fucking piece of shit. Here's why I don't like him. Number one, the bitch in front of me got mad at me because I said there was a class where we were talking about, like, you know, body image for females, and I said, listen, you can't blame men for all your issues. It's some of it's your fault for putting their own expectations on yourself. And she said, oh, you're blaming all women, aren't you? I'm like, wow, that's like I just said that, didn't I, you dumb piece of shit? No, not at all, you dumb whore. And the entire group started like turning on me. And then dude in the back today, well, I was like, he's like, bro, why this double standard? Why did Colin Kaepernick get pushed that lead, but Jon Gruden was able to let himself go on his own terms? I'm like, wow, it's probably because they just found out about this like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, and he didn't have time. They didn't have time to ban him from the league or, you know, remove him from the league. He resigned before they had a chance to. He's like, they've had plenty of time. I'm like, no, they fucking haven't. You dumb piece of shit. But I didn't say that in class because obviously I'm not trying to get expelled. But these motherfuckers are like, they've had plenty of time. No, they haven't. It's been how long? No, when this news fucking story break?
Like 2 days ago?
2 days ago. You want them to make
was it yesterday or was it 2 days ago?
Yesterday was the second strand of emails.
Yeah, and
like, what the fuck? Really? Like, come on.
After the first email came out,
that wasn't bad.
Oh, I was like, that's all he said.
Even Stephen A. Smith was like, I wouldn't have fired him, but the second strand of emails, okay. Like now I can't defend you.
I have a kick the bone with Stephen A. when he talks about Kyrie and this story.
Well, we'll get to that later on. I got that on the tab right there. We're gonna talk about Week 5 though first, and MLB. Then we'll get to Mr. Kyrie Irving, aka the biggest selfish prick on the planet. Yes, he is my favorite player in the NBA, so I am speaking on my favorite player. So I feel like I can talk about him. But we're gonna go ahead and talk about Week number 5. I know Noah didn't watch it, so I can just go ahead and I'll just tackle this real quickly. You could chime in.
Lions.
You could chime in a little if you want to.
I paid attention to the Lions, and I'm depressed. So
I feel bad for you, low key. What's it called? Hang on, let me get my shit pulled up.
We lost on a freaking field goal to the Minnesota Vikings.
No, God hates you. Like, I'm sorry, God hates you. Fucking Justin Tucker. That's literally scientifically impossible for you to lose that, by the way. A 66-yard field goal? There's no way. Like I said, so God hates the Lions. All right, let's talk about the soulless team, aka the Rams, versus the Seahawks, aka you play down to your competition until the fourth quarter, and then you either choke the game or you win in the last couple seconds. Did you see Russell Wilson's finger?
Wilson?
His finger?
I did not.
His finger is fucked. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks, but his finger is done for. So it's gonna be the Geno Smith show.
Who's their backup?
Geno Smith.
Oh, he's decent. He's not
So
terrible.
they're gonna be like average in the next couple games. I think he's out for 6 to 8 weeks, so they're probably gonna go like what? They have a bye week in between that, so it's like what, 4-3, 3-4. I mean, their schedule's not that difficult coming up, so they should win a couple games. But the Rams won 26-17. I was not surprised when I obviously I knew that it's just one of those games where you know the Seahawks are not gonna win. I want to inform if there's any UK viewers or British viewers, I want to apologize on behalf of the NFL for showing you the fucking Falcons and Jets game in fucking London, England. I came home from work in the morning, a Sunday morning, and the game was on, and I saw the game that the London fans had to watch. And I'm like, oh my god, why are we showing this product to them? Some of the two worst teams in the NFL, the Jets and Falcons.
Well, when was the last time we've had a good game in the UK? When's the last time we've had good teams in the UK? I feel like the Lions are in the UK every other year.
I think it was like a Minnesota game. I forgot when they were actually good, when they had that Case and Keenum season. But I forgot the team they were playing against. But it was a good game. Obviously, Lions and Vikings. You talked about that game already. Vikings won by a field goal. Like I said, God hates the Lions.
Dan Campbell, pussy ass, crying after the game.
what a bitch.
Jason, just look so hard. Shut up and do your job.
Jameis Winston has led his Saints to winning against the football team, who still hasn't came up with the name yet. Seeing the Washington,
they're too lazy.
Washington, I'm glad every time they lose, just makes me happy because fuck Dan Snyder. Jameis Winston, do you think he's gonna be you think it's gonna be a bounce back year for him, or do you think he's just gonna be average?
I think this is gonna be like a Cam Newton year for him. Like, I think it's gonna be that one odd year of he's gonna perform really well, but then who he really is gonna start poking out.
Yeah.
And I think he's just a shit quarterback.
Sean Payton is a good coach to have with you. So when you got Sean Payton as your coach, you can't go wrong.
It is. Yeah. Sean Payton's a great coach. So he could have found something in him that not any of his other coaches could have. But he's been a fuck up since college. His biggest problem is he has an attitude problem, and he's had it since college.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to deal with him being a dumbass off the gridiron, as well as him throwing picks.
I was gonna say his biggest problem is throwing interceptions, but all right, I guess attitude's up there as well. Patriots and Texans, we won that game, but it's against the Texans, so I mean, I'm like, yeah, we won, but if we would have lost, I would have literally ended my life. And we won by 3 points, so yeah. I mean, like I said, I'm not expecting much from the Patriots this year. We have a rookie quarterback playing currently right now because we cut Cam Newton for some reason, I guess to save cap, but we didn't save cap really with that move, but whatever. Buccaneers and Dolphins, there's no point talking about the game. The Buccaneers literally took a fat shit on the Dolphins. What is going on with the Dolphins? Why are they so shit this year? 1-4. Tua has been terrible. Their backup.
Tua got hurt.
Yeah, I forgot their backup's name.
For the majority of the season.
But even when he was playing, he was terrible. He just doesn't look the same.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things where it's like, I think we got too excited with a lot of these younger guys who, like, we had those 1 or 2 great QB draft years 2 or 3 years ago, and now you're seeing a lot of, like, you're seeing guys like Tua and what's that guy from Ohio State that just came up?
Trey Lance? Oh, no, not Trey Lance.
No, not Trey Lance. But Trey Lance is another one that hasn't performed.
Justin Fields?
Oh, yeah, no, and Justin Fields has done pretty well. But, again, I predicted Tua I never thought he was a NFL player.
Well, I mean, he is.
I mean, he is, but like, he's not a good one. Jameis Winston is an NFL player. I won't say he's a good one.
All right, I want to talk about this game that actually genuinely pissed me off. The Packers and Bengals game. That was the most undeserving win I think I've seen this week. The Packers did not deserve that win in that game. The Bengals had an opportunity to win, and they lost by about 6 inches by a field goal. The Packers lost. I mean, the Packers won, but they missed 4 field goals. 4 fucking field goals in a row. Bro, I don't even know what to say about that. That game was literally a shit. Like, dude, for some reason this week, everyone's just missing field goals. Like, I don't know what it is. Everyone was just missing this week. It's like a weird week. A game that also made me kind of sad. The Broncos and Steelers game. Steelers won that game by 8 points. Broncos played really well though. Teddy Bridgewater was alright, but they just had bad play calling at the end. So I think the Broncos are legit. It's just they just need some more improvement. You know what I mean? And they might squeak into the playoffs. I don't know. Eagles Panthers.
I can't speak on it.
Eagles and Panthers bro. The Panthers are just, like I said, they were the most overrated team, and it's showing. It's showing, bro. I'm telling you, they're the most overrated team in the league right now currently. They had the number 1 defense for 3 weeks in a row against, oh yeah, the fucking Jets, the Dolphins. Like, bro, their schedule was against terrible teams. Of course, they have number 1 defense. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I could get 9 sacks on the Jets offense line.
Is Sam Darnold now their QB?
Yeah, I mean, he's been all right.
Okay.
He's been way better than the Jets, bro. I can tell you that straight up. He's been way better, but I mean, the last 2 weeks he's just been. Yeah, I mean the Eagles won, so I mean we'll see what happens to them. I don't expect much from them, to be honest. I think the Cowboys are gonna run away with the division, which hurts me. But anyway, the Titans and Jaguars. Urban Meyer.
Oh my. How's he not been gone?
It's you know what? I don't think he should be gone. And the reason why I think that is because it was literally.
I'm just biased against him. I just really hate Urban Meyer as a person.
Well, I know, because you're Michigan.
But what's funny to me is, I love how everyone was like, oh my god, he had a girl give him a lap dance, when at that same party, his wife and kids were there with him.
Yeah.
Like, they were, if you look at the photo, they were there with him. His wife saw this bitch dancing on his dick. Like...
Yeah, like I said, Urban Meyer should try to get some. You know, they're 0-5. He's like, fuck it. I mean, 0-4. He's like, fuck it. Let's go crazy. But I feel bad for Trevor Lawrence. That man is just getting completely done for.
Well, he came in. Yeah, it's hard when your coach has turned the team into a fucking circus. I mean,
the team has no talent though, at all.
It's true, but it's like Urban Meyer immediately screwed the team over by bringing in Tim Tebow and being like, we're gonna bring back Tim Tebow and all this, when everyone knew Tim Tebow couldn't play. Everyone knew, and even me, who I like Tim Tebow. I personally think he should have stayed in baseball and not gone back, and we all knew that he was teaming up with Urban Meyer because of their success at Florida, even though that Florida team is highly controversial to this day.
Oh, that team is the best, bro. That team has so many goats. My idols. Chargers and Browns. I think every single time the Chargers play a home game is the best thing in the world. Just seeing Dean fucking Spanos get screwed over by the road fans. Dude, it sucks. The Chargers have to play 17 road games in a season. It sucks, but you know they're 4-1. They're 4-1. Justin Herbert's been looking really, really good this year. The defense has been insane. They only lost to the Cowboys by a field goal, which, by the way, that sack, I don't give a fuck. That sack call was one of the worst calls in NFL history. The Chargers should have won that game, but like I said, I don't want the Cowboys on my cock, so go fuck yourself. The Bears and Raiders game, I think we could chalk that up to the Jon Gruden situation. That's the reason why the Raiders lost the game. They just looked terrible that game. The Bears won. Justin Fields looked competent. He didn't play against the Lions, so he actually had to play against a real opponent. And I'm sorry, no. And so, he actually did all right. But like I said, the Raiders.
Lions have no defense. Lions have no defense, like at all. We have to completely pick apart our defense. So, whatever. We knew we were gonna suck this year anyway. It's a 3-year project for Brad Holmes.
3-year project?
Yes.
Bro, it's been a 27-year project. What are you on about, bro? This thing has been going on for decades.
I mean, with this front office, and this coaching staff, you have 3 years to actually make it look like something.
No, I guarantee
and we knew we were going to be shit this year anyway. So we're going to get high draft picks.
Just to waste it.
We have Brett Holmes. I actually trust his judgment, unlike Bob Quinn, who can go suck a dick. Because fuck Bob Quinn and fuck the Patriots.
Yeah, that's why I haven't won a Super Bowl. Anyway, the team that I think they're surprised this season, the Cardinals. They're 5-0, the only undefeated team right now currently, against the 49ers.
Really? Kyler Murray was playing his ass off to end last season.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not surprised at all by the Cardinals.
I am. I mean, you think that 5 weeks into the season they'd be the only undefeated team?
I mean, I don't think that, but I thought Kyler Murray would definitely.
No, Kyler Murray's a beast, but that defense has been incredible.
Yeah, I mean, and I think Cliff Kingsbury has had so much hate on him. They have a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah, I think the Cardinals are gonna do really well this season, as long as they. I think playoff-wise, they'll get eliminated in the second round because they don't think they have a lot of experience.
Is Fitzgerald playing or is he done?
I haven't seen him, so.
Because I know he's made some comments about not having passion anymore.
Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments if he has. Actually, you know what? Let me do a quick Google search. What's the next game so you can talk about it? Cowboys and Giants. What's your thoughts on the Cowboys while I search this shit up?
I'm with you in that. Screw the Cowboys. I haven't really paid that much. I know they've been winning a lot because my roommate is a big Cowboys fan. So whenever they win, he comes screaming through the dorm. Jesus, Cowboys won.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Oh, it looks like Larry Fitzgerald is a free agent, so he's on the Cardinals roster.
Yeah, I think he's gonna retire.
So Cowboys are 4-1. Everyone knows I'm the biggest Cowboys hater on the planet. And I do want to address it by saying I have a dick and balls you can suck on, and you can suck on it. If you know anything about the Cowboys, you know that they never let us down. They never let us down. When you think they're gonna do something in society, they always fucking fail. They always fail, okay? When they win 13-3, what happened? What happened? Aaron Rodgers smoked your shit. Aaron Rodgers owned your organization, okay? It's not Jerry's world, it's Rodgers' world. Okay, go fuck yourself. Fuck all you fucking Cowboys fans. You haven't won since TV was black and white, okay? Kiss my fucking ass, buddy, okay? Dak Prescott might win MVP this year. He might low-key win MVP this year. But you know what's going to happen? Zeke Elliott's not going to rush for shit. Zeke Elliott's going to get clamped up in the playoffs, okay? They're going to lose in the first or second round, and I'm putting my money on it. Okay, Cowboys ain't doing shit in the playoffs. They probably are going to go like 12-5. I said they're going to go 12-5. But it's not going to matter because you can't perform in the playoffs. You haven't been able to perform since the early 2000s, okay? So suck a cock. No one gives a fuck. Okay, the Giants are shit. The Panthers are overrated. Okay, the Eagles are the fucking Eagles. Okay, the only opponent you've actually beaten that's actually some shit is the fucking Chargers. The Chargers are the only team that actually are shit that you've beaten. We barely lost to the Bucks. Oh, let me guess. That means you still fucking lost. Okay, you almost losing doesn't mean you almost won. You lost. Okay, you fucking lost. So shut up. What were you saying?
Now let me ask you this. If the Cowboys make the just period, if they make the playoffs and win at least one game, is this more on Mike McCarthy or more on the players?
Players.
You don't think Mike McCarthy?
Nope, Mike McCarthy is nope. Dak Prescott's having a career year, and I don't think McCarthy's even responsible for it. But he gave up play calling, and they've been way better since. I don't want to hear it. And also, by the way, they have a two-headed monster running back, so it's over pretty much.
That's true.
And Diggs has been pretty good. The cornerback for them, he's had 6 interceptions, I think, so far. He's been insane.
Yeah.
He might break a record if he keeps going this way. Shout out to Diggs, man. Like I said, I love seeing people perform. I just hate teams. Listen, I don't mind the Cowboys perform like well. I just don't want you to perform well record-wise. Record-wise, I hope you do terrible. But I hope Zeke eats. I hope fucking Dak does well because obviously, breaking your ankle like that's like devastating. You know what I mean? It ruins people's careers. And I never wish injury on a player, no matter how much I hate them. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, best of luck, Cowboys, but go fuck yourself, okay? You're not gonna do well. Like I said, it's just a pattern. Cowboys do well in the regular season, fuck up in the playoffs. Just wait for it to happen, you Cowboys fans. We're gonna win the Super Bowl this year. Oh, let me see what the Cardinals gotta say about that, because the Cardinals will smoke your shit. Matter of fact, what is your schedule looking like? Hold up, do you all play the Cardinals? Hold up, Cowboys schedule. I'm gonna look this shit up right now. So you guys played the Patriots next week, which I wouldn't be surprised if we get smoked that game, because we just can't win. You got a bye week, then you can play against the Vikings. I think you're gonna lose that game. I think you're losing against the Vikings. Broncos, I think you might lose that one as well. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Broncos lose. Falcons, Chiefs. Chiefs and Cowboys. You know what? We'll get to that when we get to that. That's like a couple weeks from now, so we'll talk about that when we get to that week. But speaking of the Chiefs, the next game I was going to talk about, the Bills and Chiefs. The Chiefs are under 500. Patrick Mahomes is Patrick McHomeless out there. What is going on with Patrick Mahomes? Let me tell you what's going on with Patrick Mahomes. When your defense is so fucking shit that you have to constantly score every single possession, it puts so much pressure on your offense that you can't have a good run game, because you have to constantly throwing the football to keep up with your opponent, because your offense literally, I could literally run on that defense and get 200 yards receiving. Okay, that's how fucking bad that fucking offense is. That defense is, okay? That defense couldn't cover a fucking disabled kid, okay? I'm telling you right now, they are that fucking bad. The Bills are legit. They've been legit for the past 2 years. Everyone knows the Bills are, but the Chiefs are dropping games like crazy. I do blame a hard schedule. They played a really hard schedule. Obviously, as a runner-up in the Super Bowl, they're gonna play a hard schedule, and I think they're gonna catch some wins. They're gonna catch some wins. Cage, don't worry, you're gonna catch some wins. Okay, your team's gonna go back above 500. Everyone's gonna suck Patrick Mahomes' cock like they did with Lamar Jackson, and the Chiefs are gonna make the playoffs still. So don't worry, all you Chiefs fans that became Chiefs fans 2 years ago. The Chiefs are gonna be all right. Kiss my ass. Colts and Ravens. The Ravens might be the most frustrating team to watch, I think, in all of sports. They purposely suck in the first half of the games and purposely keep games close just for fucking animosity and like you know what I mean, like spark. You know what I mean? They try I don't know. They try to do it for to keep the oh, I wonder if they're gonna win or not, and then they always win at the last second. The Ravens are 4-1, the most undeserved 4-1 team I think in the league right now. They're so lucky to be a 4-1. No questions asked. They would be 5-0 if Lamar Jackson didn't have the running back of the Ravens didn't have slippery hands and he fumbled the football against the Raiders in the week 1. The Ravens would be 5-0. But they beat the Colts, and Carson Wentz actually didn't look too terrible until they blew a 22-3 lead with 59 seconds left in the third quarter. That's worse than this 28-3 lead in the Super Bowl against the Atlanta Falcons versus Patriots. That's worse. You blew how did you blow that? Carson Wentz, you were having an incredible game. The first incredible game he had all season. The Colts actually look like a competent team. Now they're 1-4. Noah, what is Carson Wentz's future looking like? His team is not performing correctly. They're 1-4. This is pretty much like his last chance. What did he do with Carson Wentz for the Colts?
You ditch him as fast as you can. I mean, what? Anyone thought Carson Wentz had a future in the league? I mean, I didn't even know he was still in the league, I'll be honest.
I mean, ever since the ACL tear, he has not looked the same. And I think, I've always been trying to root for Carson Wentz to do well again, and it's just not showing.
Ever since Nick Foles took over for him, yeah, he's not been the same.
It fucked with his psyche.
That, or we saw a mirage. And maybe just health-wise hasn't come all the way back. He's definitely not as mobile as he was back in his first season.
I'm looking at the roster. All right, so Thursday Night Football's coming up, guys. Buccaneers versus the Eagles. I think everyone knows Buccaneers are going to win that game. A lot of teams are bye weeks this week. We also have the Tank Bowl in the morning. And guess what? Hey, Noah, you want to know what game is playing in London this week?
What?
The Dolphins and Jaguars. 1-4 and 0-5. Fuck my life, bro. I guess it's just a F you to fucking London. I'm trying to look for interesting matchups. I guess the only interesting matchup might be the Cardinals versus Browns game. That's gonna be a good game.
I will say, when they made the schedule, they thought the Jaguars and Dolphins were going to be good. Like, I'm just saying.
Maybe the Dolphins, but the Jaguars.
I don't know. You had Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer who want to do come back in the NFL. I don't know. I think preseason, I think people had the Jaguars, like, at least an interesting team.
Well, those people also should be fired.
Well, yes, but I'm talking about ESPN.
Well, yeah, ESPN's ESPN. There's a couple matchups we're looking at right now. Chargers and Ravens. 4-1 teams going at it. That's going to be a really, really good game. I'm definitely going to watch that game. I'm going to actually put money. Because obviously I play DraftKings. And I play a bunch of other, I do a lot of crazy stuff like that. I'm going to put my money on the Chargers. I think Chargers pull that one out against the Ravens. And I believe in Justin Herbert. I feel like he's going to do well. I feel like Lamar Jackson loves squeaking wins out of his ass, and I think this week's not going to work out for him. Because that Chargers defense is legit, and they're not going to let Lamar Jackson come back. Then you got the Cardinals versus Browns game, which I said a second ago. I think that the Cardinals are going to win that game. I think Baker Mayfield is just... I don't know what's happening, but I think he's just like up and down this year. Like one game he's incredible, next game he's mediocre, but his team carries him to victory. Next week he sucks. The next week he's just god tier. It's just about consistency with him. So whatever quarterback we get at 3 o'clock on Sunday will determine if the Cardinals get their first loss or not. But I don't think that he's gonna perform that game. So we'll see what happens. I want to see how the Raiders play with the first game since the Jon Gruden situation. Yes, I know Jon Gruden situation happened last week, so it affected them last week. But I want to see, like, ever since like the second thing of emails came out, he got resigned. I want to see how the Raiders go against a team that's actually really good.
Did they announce who's taking over for him?
Yeah, the special teams coordinator, who's actually really good. He's actually really, really good. So I think that he definitely will do a good job with the Raiders. So
just is Derek Carr? Derek Carr is still the QB, right?
Yeah, he's actually doing decently this year. He's been.
I know he's played well, which is like I'm interested to see how he'll respond since he and Gruden seem to finally get on a.
And also Carl Nabitz, who's the only gay player in the entire NFL. How is he gonna respond to his former coaches saying all these misogynistic slurs about his type people? How is he gonna respond with that? And I want to see if he's gonna come out like a beast, an angry beast, or he's gonna be the other way around. I don't know. He's been he's been alright this year. He's been a good piece for the Raiders, but it all depends on that secondary for the Raiders. How are they gonna guard this Broncos offense with Teddy Bridgewater, who loves throwing short passes? He's a short pass QB, doesn't make too many mistakes, and he's been very efficient. He's a very efficient QB. He doesn't take long balls. He doesn't throw the ball 50 yards down the field. He's gonna throw those 10-yard short digs. They're a West Coast offense, so I definitely want to see how the Raiders play against that, because they are known to not play well against West Coast offenses, as you saw with last week. Cowboys and Patriots, I already said the Cowboys they're probably gonna beat us, and I'm gonna have to hear Cowboys fans again. Besides that, I mean, Seahawks Steelers, that's a shit game. I think Seahawks are gonna win. Sorry, George, not sorry. And you got Bills and Titans. I mean, Titans are just a shitter. They lost to the Jets. Their 3-2 record doesn't mean shit to me. They lost to the Jets. That's all I gotta hear. Noah, let's move on to baseball. Then we got football, college, and then we're gonna move on to politics. Are you ready? Have you been paying attention to baseball?
I've been a little bit, not too much that I probably should be paying a lot more attention to it. I've been paying attention to the playoffs a little bit. I saw it tonight. Tonight the Dodgers just beat the Giants.
Yeah, thanks. Nice for letting me know. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that, bud.
Yeah.
Was it the American League game supposed to be played tonight?
What, the White Sox and Astros?
Yeah,
Astros won. Astros won. They're going to be playing the Red Sox in the ALCS. So, actually, it's a good thing, because as a Red Sox fan, I want to talk about this. So, for all you guys, especially you, Michael, who said that Tampa Bay was going to smoke our shit, fuck you and eat this fucking Boston cock, buddy. I'm going to stick a clam chowder in your fucking mouth, you bum bitch. Okay, you doubt us because you're salty that we smoked your Yankees. Okay, get fucked. I said since the beginning that we either going to be losing this in a close series or we're going to smoke the fuck out of Tampa Bay. And if it wasn't for that fourth inning in game 1, we would have won. We would have won all 3 games. But you know what? I can't complain. Tampa Bay's an incredible team, 100 wins season. It's pretty fucking good. Tampa Bay has a young team with the 4th lowest payroll. They're definitely a future team to watch out for, 100%. But this year, it's not your year, buddy. It's a veteran team, Boston Red Sox. The veteran team versus a veteran team in the Houston Astros. The Houston Astros come in with the old roster. Red Sox come with the old roster. Noah, who do you got? The Red Sox and Astros, and why is that team going to win?
That's tough because both the Astros and the Red Sox are stacked. I have to go I think me along with a lot of other people still have an anti-Astros bias from a couple years ago, which is kind of hypocritical since my Detroit Tigers have AJ Hinch as their manager now, and I'm fully behind him. But I have to go Red Sox, man, and you know all the reasons why. I think Alex Carr, what he's done with this team is incredible. I mean, they're willing to run through a freaking wall for that man. And their offense is, I think pitching-wise, they obviously have some things to work on.
100%.
But I think they have the best. I think they have, them and the Dodgers competitively could have the best offenses in the game of baseball.
Here's the thing about this matchup. The Houston Astros, a.k.a. I like to call them the Houston Sign Stealers. Okay? The Houston Astros, listen, Red Sox, cover your signs up. Do not let them steal them shits. Okay? It depends. What's going to win this game is the back lineups of both lineups. Okay? The Red Sox back lineup has been incredible this playoffs. They've been incredible, and they've been carrying us tremendously. Okay, JD Martinez coming back has been insane for us. He played incredible in the Tampa Bay series, and I think that back 3, the 7, 8, and 9 batters are what's going to determine the series. Whoever plays better is going to win the series. Everyone's like, "Oh, you think the Red Sox will win?" Yes, I think they're going to win in 6 games. They're going to win in 6 games. I think the Astros are going to take game 1, and I think Red Sox
y'all need to avoid having Chris Sale. Y'all need to avoid putting Chris Sale out there.
Chris Sale has been. Well, I don't know what happened to him, bro. This playoffs, he's just been.
He had Tommy John.
Yeah,
pitchers when they have Tommy John, they don't come back. I mean,
which is sad.
Very rare.
Which is sad, but like I said, we have, Nathan. I forgot his last name. The Nathan dude who pitched in the Yankees game, incredible. He had a great. His last name is hard to pronounce. I just can't remember it. He was incredible in the Yankees game. Pitched six solid innings that won us that game, and so I think he might be pitching game 1 or game 2, but we definitely need him early in the series because our pitching lineup is obviously compared to the Dodgers, the Atlanta Braves, maybe even I think probably Houston as well. We might have the weakest pitching lineup in the remaining teams left, so we have to hit the fuck out of the ball. We gotta hit that ball deep as fuck, you know what I'm saying? And so that's gonna determine the series for sure. And then the Dodgers and Giants game, obviously they're going to game 5.
Okay, to go back, it will depend on location. It will depend on location too, because think about it. Minute Maid Park is a small ass park where both offensives will go ham. Yes. Like, both offensive are going to explode at Minute Maid. So, ultimately, Fenway is where the Red Sox have to prove their game. They have to prove that they know their ballpark.
100%.
And that will make a big difference. Because if you have the Astros come into Fenway and they're hitting doubles and triples, and the Red Sox can't replicate that, and they can't, hit off the monster, which the Astros have a history of being quite successful at Fenway, unfortunately for the Red Sox. So we'll just have to see who holds better at Fenway. I think Minute Maid, both teams have a really good chance. I think it's whoever scores last will win. Like, whoever will score the biggest score will win, obviously. But it's it will come down to who can play better at Fenway.
Yeah, I completely agree. Giants and Dodgers, they're going to play Game 5 in San Francisco, which, by the way, if you guys know how I feel about California, I think that we should annex California from the United States and get the fuck... that's not the word I was trying to use. Separate California from the entire United States, because I feel like California is a burning hellhole that should be avoided, but that's completely irrelevant, like my boy Lil Peep is, from the conversation of this. I think the Giants, in Game 5, Dodgers and Giants, I think Clayton Kershaw's going to be pitching for the Dodgers. I'm not sure about that. Giants, I forgot who it's going to be, but I know it's one of the top guys. You say you've been following a little bit. Who do you think has got the Game 5? It's going to be in San Francisco.
I don't.
I personally got San Francisco. Because Clayton Kershaw in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's Kershaw in the playoffs. But last year might have broke that curse for Kershaw. He played pretty well last year when they won it all.
But when he plays against the Giants, though, he just doesn't play well.
That's true. That's very true. But, dude, the Dodgers are the Dodgers, though. Like, they remind me of the early 2010 Giants. Just a team with a chip on their shoulder that they shouldn't have a chip. They just won the World Series. They're playing, though, like they haven't won one in 30 years.
It's like fucking, what's it called? You said they have a chip on your shoulder. It's like it's like I was like think of an NBA team. The Warriors. Remember in 2018, 2017, they had like that. Yeah. We have a massive chip on our shoulder. I'm like, what are you talking about? You have the best lineup ever in human history. Yeah. Like, what do you mean a chip on your shoulder, bitch? You should win this.
And they just add players, Max Scherzer, who I mentioned previously, who do have genuine chips on their shoulders. Max Scherzer has a genuine, like, I'm going to win a effing world championship. Like, he's tried his hardest in Washington, didn't work out well. Now he's went to the Dodgers, and they keep adding guys who want to win and want to win now, and they just rotate their veterans and their newer guys, and it works. And now the one thing with the Dodgers is this is the last year. A lot of their guys are free agents after this season.
Thank fuck.
Yeah. So we will see what happens after the season. I have the Dodgers winning the series just because.
Yeah, you can go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Realistically,
I don't want to. I know, but I don't want to say.
I know. I want the Giants to win just because.
Tie was their chance. Tie was their fucking chance. They blew it.
Yeah, tonight really was the tipping point, and the Dodgers came out in the end. Yeah.
And let's be real, the Dodgers versus Atlanta Braves is still a much better matchup than Giants versus Braves. Speaking of that matchup, the Braves and Brewers, a team that I thought was going to go to the World Series, the Brewers, they fucking lost to the Braves.
Yeah, I mean, and then again, I actually disagree. I think the Giants would be a much better matchup. I think the Dodgers are going to if the Dodgers win, I think they'll steamroll the Braves. I think they'll just walk right through them. I think the Giants would be a much more competitive series. I'm genuinely shocked, as well as you, that they beat the Brewers, but the Brewers are going to bounce back. They're a good team. Greg Counsell is a very underrated manager. Yeah, but I do think it will be between the Dodgers and the Braves, which ultimately I do see the Dodgers making the World Series. I think it would be a very big upset, a welcoming upset, because I really like the Braves. But I just don't see it being that realistic this season.
Yeah, if the Dodgers win the World Series, I hope a fucking forest fire happens against them. All right, next, what you want to?
Well, but I will say, I think both the Astros and the Red Sox, they are the teams that are either one of them will be competitive with the Dodgers.
Yeah, I think the better matchup's gonna be Astros.
What?
I think if it's this Dodgers, the better matchup's gonna be the Astros.
Yes, because of pitching. I think the Dodgers.
The Braves though, the Braves versus Red Sox gonna be an insane matchup because offense.
That would be really good.
Offense-wise, yeah.
I think the Dodgers offense would have a field day with the Red Sox pitching.
Yeah, which sucks. Yeah, rest in peace to Chris Hill, Yeah, GG to you, my boy. So
you could do with him what the Tigers did with Matthew Boyd and put him in the bullpen and see how he reacts. But yeah, I don't think he's a starter anymore. I think he's a long-term reliever at this point.
What's it called? Kyrie Irving is still being a crybaby back bitch. If you know recently, he is currently right now not allowed to play any Nets games due to the Nets recently coming out saying that since he is not a full participant, he's not allowed to play any games whatsoever until he becomes a full participant. If you guys don't know, New York and Los Angeles, I'm pretty sure another city, have made it fully vaccination where you have to have a vaccination. Which, by the way, that's a whole topic for a different day.
The NBA did. The NBA
I thought the entire state of California made it, I think.
Yes, I can swear. That too. But the NBA basically said, hey, you can't play in your home court unless you're fully vaccinated.
Which, by the way, I have so many things to say about that, but I'm gonna hold my opinions on that because I don't want to seem like an anti-vaxxer, but like I said, I'm not gonna say, you know what I mean. Kyrie Irving has this, I feel like forcing someone to do something like that. Well, what's the side effects? It's like, bro, like literally, you're making it a thing now where he's gonna lose his job.
He's not the only player. He's
Andrew Wiggins.
The guy that.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins is the one.
And there's a couple more, but he's not. He's the figurehead that the media has chosen to, put the light on.
See,
but,
for someone
in the African American community, there is a genuine distrust, and a lot of these players are susceptible to. Cole Beasley is facing the same thing in the NFL.
Well, of course the African American community doesn't trust the government. Why would they? Why should they trust them? What has the government done for them to allow them to trust them?
Nothing exactly. I just don't know. You're coming in here acting like Kyrie's wrong with this, but then at the same time,
I mean, bro, listen. It's first off, you're getting paid millions of dollars, and your team needs you. Your team literally needs you, and you are giving them a big middle finger. Kevin Durant, who by the way only came to Brooklyn for you, James Harden, who now wants to play for you, and you're throwing all that away for your own personal benefit. That's selfish. That's selfish as fuck. You're an NBA player. I'm different. I'm different from him. Okay, if I don't want to do it, it's different from him.
To be fair, if he doesn't play, he's giving up $58 million contract. That's a pretty big deal.
How is that fair to the Nets, though, who invested all this money and time into him?
Right, but at the same time, it's like, okay, he as a player chose to go there, and who are they to tell him what to do with his own medical health? It's up to him as an individual. Like, who's the NBA? And I get that it's employer or whatever, but again, this is talking about an individual's body autonomy. Like, who are they to be like, well, you have to do this and that? It's like, no, if he's nervous about it, he's free to go talk to his own physicians, which I'm assuming he's an NBA player. I'm assuming he said a crap ton of physicians looked at him, and he's talked to a number of them, has chosen not to take. What, has he even said he was taking it or not?
He hasn't done it, but he said he was going to and decided not to.
Well, did he or has he like?
He hasn't taken it. He hasn't taken it.
Russell Wilson said, "It's nobody's business what I've done."
But unfortunately, the media makes it, so now we have to talk about it. You know what I mean? But I say, if in the context of like the players that he plays with, it's kind of not fair to them. Yes, it is his personal decision, but it also is not really his personal decision because they're forcing him to do it essentially. So at that point, it's either do you want to play, do you want to win a championship with the people who invested all this time into you and building a relationship with you, or do you want to say go fuck yourself? I'm more important than you. Which, to be fair, if you want to do that, fair enough. That's your decision. But it's not fair to Kevin Durant.
Again, it's a principle.
That's not fair to Kevin Durant.
I'm not gonna sit here and judge his heart here because you don't know ultimately like what his decision's being based really off of.
ESPN does, so ESPN does, so guess I mean the media does apparently because that's what we paint. So you know what I mean? We know exactly what he's thinking.
I'm not gonna sit here and assume shit like the media does because that's not how I make judgments. So I'm not gonna sit here and condemn him for making his own personal decision. But at the same time, I do understand and get that from a teammate point of view, yes, this seems like, even though hasn't Durant himself said some things about, even though he got it, he's skeptical.
We all are. I haven't got it. Do I plan on getting it? Unless it qualifies me not, lose my job, then I'm not getting it. Yes, guys, I haven't got the vaccine. Okay, the reason why is because I don't believe in it. Unless I am about to lose my job, I will not get the vaccine. If I have to get it, I'm gonna get it. Which, by the way, Joe Biden has made a recent law that might pass soon that makes it gonna be mandatory for all workers to get vaccines. Which, by the way, is one of the worst bills I think will ever pass in American history because tens of millions of Americans are gonna lose their job. So. Good job. And plus, you're not advertising the vaccine to African American communities. So good job. You're just making it a one thing street where you're just doing it to rich white families who actually can get to vaccine areas and centers very easily where the community can't get to it.
To be fair, this vaccine is free and you can get it almost anywhere.
To be honest, I don't care. I know this. I know. Like I said, I've done my research and. I believe what I believe, and like I said, in the comments, if you guys want to go at me, listen, you can suck my cock. Noah, have you got the vaccine?
I am fully vaxxed.
That's your decision? Yeah, I'm not going to say that.
It's my decision. I ultimately think it's up to the individual. I think these mandates are authoritarian and will lead to,
that's what I'm saying,
and ultimately results in tyranny and are evil. Like, I think they are fully evil.
But guess what, guys? That's the president you hired. Congratulations. That's the president you elected. Anyways, let's move on to, because we're gonna talk about that here later on. You said you want to talk about college?
I did, but whatever. I wanted to talk on Alabama, but let's face it, everyone.
Roll Tide! Roll Tide! Get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
But at the same time, it's like, this podcast has gone long, and I know we have a couple more subjects to get to, so.
Before we move, the Oklahoma and Texas game.
Bro, that was insane.
That was good.
Bro, who knew Spencer Rattler could shit the bed like that, though? I mean, everyone knew he wasn't that good of a QB, but just crapping the bed and having a freshman come in to save you.
Yikes. I just looked at the next topic we're going to talk about. I actually was about to start bursting out laughing. Alright, guys, we're going to move into our political segment. This is not really, I guess it's political. Superman is gay now. Noah, what's your reaction to Superman coming out as in a part of the LGBT community?
Right, so to provide a little more context, and I'm sure a lot of people know about this already, it's big on social media, but in an upcoming comic release, the son of Clark Kent and Lois Lane, who takes up the mantle of Superman, I can't remember his name, I think it's Jonathan. He comes out as bisexual and he has a boyfriend. And it's just like, why?
First, like, SpongeBob.
It's like the worst things about these comics are the relationships. No one cares about Lois Lane. I'm sorry. No one does. Why even have, like, everyone just wants to see people fighting and stuff. Like, you watch the original Christopher Reeve movies, the worst parts of those movies were Clark Kent and Lois Lane. Really, like, no one cares. And I get this is like, and you actually look at the comic, this is woke. Like, this is the problem with wokies. They don't know how to be subtle, and they don't know
how to be funny,
which is often why they're successful, unfortunately. But they don't know how to be subtle, and they don't know how to just push a conversation. They have to force their crap into every little thing. So, like, you look at the comic book and the pages, it's just straight up two dudes making out for 3 or 4 pages. It's like, guys, come on.
It's like, bro, really? And then they turn the book on you, like, what, are you homophobic? I'm like, no, it's like, come on, like, stop forcing these people, these, like, you know, these superheroes, these, you know, TV shows to be gay.
And it's just demeaning towards that community, too, because it's like,
I don't know, I feel like it's just shoving it down the throat of people. It's like, SpongeBob's gay, guys. Like, okay, like, didn't need to happen. Like, I think everyone knew SpongeBob was gay beforehand. I mean, come on, he's friends with Patrick. He's never touched a female's life. He hasn't clapped Sandy's cheeks yet because he's a virgin.
Well, didn't he and Sandy go on a date, like, in one of the first episodes?
Maybe, I don't even remember, bro. That's could be impossible.
But beyond that, it's like, what you're saying to that community is, well, no one cares about you in real life, so we're gonna force this on nerds, and they're gonna embrace you. Which, by the way, I feel like
the opposite effect.
No. I feel like the gay community has been accepted by nerd culture long before it was accepted by most other cultures.
Yeah, it's a bunch of fucking betas.
Well, it's like you're appealing to people well, let's face it. Most people who read comic books these days are gay. I'm sorry.
Hey, Michael, we're talking about you, bro. I'm just fucking with you. Oh, maybe.
No,
anyways,
but, like, I feel like that is like people who play D&D, and like a large percentage of that population went to that, got involved in that type of stuff because they felt rejected by the rest of society, and a large number of that community is LGBT. And I'm not saying this to be like what I'm just pointing out as someone who has family that loves D&D and is weird like that. That community is full of gay people. Not right, not wrong. It's just a fact. Yeah. So it's just like, but at the same time, it's a weird thing that
what the fuck?
That was trending on Twitter. Who cares? Like, why is Twitter trying so gosh darn hard to push these woke talking points?
Hey, Noah, you wanna know why? That's Twitter. Like I said, guys, if you take Twitter serious, then just know your life's gonna be miserable as fuck. And you're gonna hate yourself. Especially if you are, a white man. But anyways, yeah, I mean, like I said, I got no problem with gay people. I have friends that are gay, and I hate when people are like, oh, you use that as an excuse. I'm like, no, I don't. I don't use that as an excuse. Thank you very much. What the I just saw some crazy headline. I don't use that as an excuse. I don't have a problem. Just don't force me to, you know, be gay, or like try to like falsely accuse me of something. You know what I mean? Like I said, like, I don't got a problem. I make gay jokes. I'm sus 24/7. I think it's fucking funny. Doesn't mean I'm gay. It just means that, you know, I have a personality. I have a sense of humor. You know what I mean? And there's no problem with like people like, coming out as gay, especially like comic books and like that.
Humor too, so that's why I think it's hilarious when gay people kill themselves. It's just so funny to me.
Wait, what'd you say?
Wow, that joke died.
What'd you just say? I didn't catch the joke. That's why I didn't know what you said.
No, I said I have a sense of humor too, which is why it's so funny when gay people jump off buildings in the movies.
Oh shit, that's great. Hold up.
Okay, I just saw a big headline though.
What?
Coachella will no longer require vaccines for its 2022 events.
Hey, you're fucking right.
Well, that's a big deal because that could, if it's a major festival in California like Coachella, that could change a lot of other big arenas and just festivals or events. That could signal a large change.
I fucking hope so. Yeah, like I said, I haven't gone to Coachella in my life, so.
Me neither. But like, I can't go to a concert in Little Rock, which is 40 minutes away from me, because actually I can, but I won't on principle because you have to be vaccinated to get in, which is ridiculous.
Completely forgot everything I was gonna say. Fuck it, relationship advice, guys. I'm moving into relationship advice, okay? Well, if I remember next week, guys, I will bring up this topic next week, guys. But anyways, I'm sorry for the shortened politics conversation. If you don't like, it was about so obviously, like I said earlier in the podcast, I have a race and gender class I talk about. And today, so I'm pretty much gonna talk about with you what we talk about in the class, so that way we can have our opinions on it. We talked about Native American, because obviously, it's indigenous, I forgot the whole name, it was Indigenous Day or whatever. Indigenous American Day, where it's about like Native Americans, the culture of them.
Because today was Columbus Day, and
yeah. And they're talking about like the Cleveland Indians and stuff like that, like all their names. Do you think that those names will be changed in the future? And if so, how long will it take? And if not, why not? The Cleveland Indians, you got Chicago Blackhawks, not the name, but the logo.
Dude, what was so dumb about the Redskins was that it was designed by a African American chieftain. Like, they had an African American chieftain design it for the team. So, well, of course, the Indians, they're going to be changed to the Guardians, which is the dumbest name on the planet. And their logo's practically, and the logo's the same. Like, it's so dumb when these teams with no imagination. Like, these are not creative people. Like, you have a front office of executives that don't have any imagination at all.
Welcome to the
so
NFL.
It's just like
baseball.
It's just like,
Shit.
And with baseball, it's just like, yay, we're the Cleveland Guardians. What? You could have gone back to the Cleveland Spiders, which is what they were before they were the Indians. And people would have loved it because people would have actually known what you were talking about. The Guardians, the only people that know that are a niche group of people that live in the Cleveland area that drive over a bridge to get into the main city of Cleveland because there's a statue called the Guardian of whatever, the bridge or whatever. No one gets what you're talking about. It's so garbage. I haven't read much about the Blackhawks, and if anyone's upset with them, Blackhawks.
You mean Blackhawks? You got a nice one.
And or the are people upset with the Chiefs? Or are they good?
Bro, if you're mad about the Chiefs one, genuinely kiss my ass. I don't think anyone has, but I think people have talked about it. But if you are mad about the Chiefs one, like I said, grow up. Like, Jesus Christ. You are so arrogant, Chris. Yeah, whatever, buddy. Whatever you say, pal. But no, essentially, bro, like, I think that if any team is going to change their name, it's probably going to be the Cleveland Indians. But,
well, they've already announced they are.
Oh, yeah, that's what you just said, my bad. Yeah, then obviously the Redskins, the Washington football team, my apologies, guys. They've already changed theirs to nothing.
Well, it's shocking that these teams haven't, like, worked with a PR or with, like, a marketing agency to come up with new names and stuff.
See, the Chicago Blackhawks, you don't have to change anything except the logo. Just change, like, an actual Blackhawk. You know what I mean? That would be pretty cool. You know, it fit the team a lot better than just, like, a Indian, like, face. You know what I mean? A tri-face.
Hockey is one of those leagues where I don't think anything's gonna, like, who cares? It's a bunch of, like,
they're all a bunch of Canadians.
It's a bunch of Canadians and Russians, and no one cares.
I mean, I care about hockey, but alright.
I mean, I care about hockey too, but like, let's face it, like it's becoming a very niche fan base, unfortunately, which I think it's a great game, but
Pretty much, yeah. But I've heard what's because like people are talking about like baseball's falling off and stuff like that. Like it's like the past time, but they haven't been able to like evolve their game. You know what I mean?
well,
It's
the
like
problem
because they're going to like Dominican Republic to like spend all their money to like get players instead of like going to like the cities of America and trying to like
the problem with baseball is that they're trying to fix problems that aren't problems. So
I agree. Yeah.
So they're trying to, speed up the game, make it more interesting. What they need a marketing campaign. They need to learn how to use social media, which they don't. Like the MLB
Facts.
is awful with social media. They don't know. Twitter's the best thing that they do and that's not even that's not even the league. That's the individual teams. Seeing individual baseball teams on Twitter getting into Twitter fights is some of the funniest shit on the planet. Like, have you paid attention to the White Sox Twitter?
No.
Bro, the White Sox Twitter talks so much shit. The Tigers and the White Sox, when they faced to end the season, bro, it was the official White Sox NBC Twitter account was talking shit to the Tigers, and they were going back and forth, and like they were saying they were going in, and like the Tigers were saying like Jose Abreu deserves to be hit, and the White Sox would respond with your bunch of like essentially calling the Tigers pussies. Like it got like serious, and it was entertaining. It's like, okay, they know, like the clubs know what they're doing. The MLB needs to fix the fact that you can't watch the blackout rules are bullcrap. Like with local games, you can't watch local games on MLB TV, which sucks. You can't, and the whole ESPN thing where if it's a national game, you can't watch it on MLB TV is dumb too. And the NFL also has streaming. Their streaming service sucks. The NFL's. Honestly, the NBA might have the best streaming service.
See, the NBA, what they do is they promote their players and put them at the front stage. MLB is just MLB.
Exactly.
The same thing with NFL. NFL does the same thing.
What's the thing with the MLB? The MLB, the last superstar, and really I think the last time the MLB seemed irrelevant was Mike Trout. Mike Trout in around 2010 to 2015-16, he was the star of the MLB, and baseball during that span was semi-relevant in the mainstream. It was still kicking. And then Bryce Harper kind of took that role. Kind of?
Yeah, until he threw his helmet down on the ground and almost hit himself.
Yeah, he kind of did. And now, baseball has to. Fernando Tatis is the next leader in baseball. He's the next face of baseball.
Yep.
But no one knows who he is because they don't market him at all. The closest thing they did was put him on the cover of MLB The Show, which is the best sports game out there, by the way.
I play it every day. It's got to.
It's so good. How can you make the best sports video game and the actual league and not know how to use social media at all? However you feel about Trevor Bauer, I understand why people hate him. He does media right. He films his own documentaries about him and his teammates. And this was before, all the sexual assault accusations. He did documentaries on him and his teammates. He went around to other players, showed what it's like to be in their lives. He basically did 5 to 6 minute versions of what Amazon did with the NFL seasons and with stuff with going into the lives of the players. That's what the MLB needs to do. It needs to build connections with the players and the fans, which, you know, the older players understand this, and they've been doing it themselves independently for years, which is why you have players like Bryce Harper, like Max Scherzer, like Miguel Cabrera, like any other more veteran players. But now you have a player like Fernando Tatis, who has, by and large, relied on the general media and the broadcasters and MLB to lift his name, which I do blame Mike Trout for that. Mike Trout really was the golden child of baseball media, not just baseball media, but for a short period of time, he was the face of sports, like for a very short period of time. But he was massive when, not even just when he first came out, but after his first couple years. And now the Angels suck and he's kind of disappeared, even though he's still arguably the best player in baseball.
You know what would help?
Which is ridiculous. What?
So you obviously, when the NBA draft and the NFL draft happen, everybody hears about it. You know who's gonna go number one. You have all these draft boards like, all right, this guy's gonna go here, here, here. MLB, you don't hear shit. You hear absolutely nothing. And when they get drafted,
I will say they are slowly getting better with that, because they finally started airing. Hey, there's an MLB combine. Last year was the first year of the MLB combine. Hey, how about instead of putting it on, I think the MLB network is the best sports network, or even over the NFL network. But hey, how about you have a deal with ESPN to show the combine instead of just putting it on the MLB network? How about you have a deal with ESPN, and you can still do it out of the MLB network headquarters, but for the draft, you have a dual streaming deal with ESPN, even though I highly doubt ESPN would accept that.
But look at Kyler Murray, for example. So you obviously, when Kyler Murray got drafted, it was either, hey, go to the NFL, make millions of dollars immediately, or go to the MLB, spend 2 years in the minor league where you make $30,000 a year sitting on a tour bus going around and smelling like absolute dog shit. Well, yeah, 25K. 25K, somewhere in that range. And then you go to the AAA and you make 70K, 80K, 90K. And then you go to the major leagues finally after 2 years, when you could go to the NFL and make millions immediately. What are you going to pick? Like, you got to make it more incentive for players to actually want to play baseball.
Right,
you know
but at the same time, think about this. There is no salary cap in the MLB, so Kyler Murray.
But look at this for a minute. Why don't you promote the young players?
As a major league player would be making more money than he'd probably make his entire career in the NFL.
Why don't you advertise the players, like young up and coming superstars, like when they're coming up in like the minor leagues? Why don't you show the games?
See, that's the thing. As an MLB enthusiast, they do, but they only do it to their core base, because
that's a problem.
MLB for the longest time, MLB for the longest time has been very, very introverted. They've only, and I don't think that's entirely a bad thing when it comes to policy and how you play the game. I don't have a problem with that. The problem is they need to get with social media. They need to hire a young PR firm to handle their PR. They need to hire videographers. They need to be, and they have talent. Like, their stuff on the MLB network is fantastic. They just need to push it out to the mainstream, which they don't do because they don't know how to do that. And it's so infuriating when you see good content being wasted.
Baseball's a fun sport to watch, guys. It's very relaxing. Get a cold beer, get some popcorn, get some hot dogs, and relax and watch a good game of baseball. But
baseball used to know. They used to know how to do this. I remember watching old clips on ESPN of old MLB bloopers and like pranks, a roll of pranks that MLB players would do on each other and during the season. And they used to run this stuff on ESPN, and it would make the players seem closer to the fans, and it would show the fun side of players. MLB under Rob Manfred has gotten rid of all that, and they decided to fix problems that aren't even problems.
what about Hard Knocks, like, for baseball? I know they tried it before, but they didn't, like, continue it.
I don't know if that's necessarily... I don't know if Hard Knocks is even that good of an idea for...
I like it. I think it's good. I think it's a great concept.
You don't think it's a... I mean, it's clearly a distraction.
But it allows you to see a team's, like, inside and, like, you know, able to, like, recognize a player. Like, okay, like, he's, like, this is how he is, you know what I mean? This is their star player right here. This is, like, an up-and-coming player right here. I see, like, how they think in, like, the system, you know, who's going to be coming up in the league, who's, like, the next young guy in the AAA. They talk about, like, oh, we might move him this day, and, like, you can look forward to their debut in the MLB. I don't know, just, like, stuff like that. Like, you could, like, actually, like, see, like, the players on the team. Obviously, that's what they do in the NFL. You know what I mean?
And it's not pushed out, but a lot of individual teams now have podcasts, and they now are and like, for example, the Detroit Tigers have a minor league podcast where they talk about minor league players. Why doesn't the NBA push these individual team and independent podcasts? Why doesn't the NBA as a total organization push this out, advertise it more? It doesn't make sense to me why there are already things being made that to a wider audience is attractive, but the MLB refuses to push, to advertise.
Pretty much. I was going to talk about Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury, but this podcast is getting a little long, so I will just pretty much skim it, my topic about it, by saying Tyson Fury is the GOAT. As a Deontay Wilder fan, it hurts to see him lose pretty much 3 times. He has technically lost twice and drawn once, but I mean, him getting knocked out like that is just pathetic by his team for not throwing the towel.
Canelo's the GOAT. Canelo's the GOAT.
Khabib is the GOAT of MMA. And yes, I agree. Canelo's the GOAT of boxing. I'll give you guys some quick relationship advice. If you are currently trying to date somebody in 2021, don't. It's not worth it. That's my relationship advice. Do not date in 2021 because it's not worth it. I promise you, 100%. If you do want some real dating advice, though, find somebody you like, and worry about stuff that doesn't, you know, that's not gonna fade. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I know. Wouldn't you agree on that? Like, say it's like society just wants like things that are like, for example, ass and tits, dick, you know, fucking 6-pack abs, body, like, you know, that shit fades when you get older, right? You know what I mean? That shit can get older, but you know what doesn't fade away? Who you are as a human being. So go find that person, then put a baby inside them, and then dip the fuck out of there and force him to have a kid by himself. That's the way to do it right there. Am I right? Can I get a half 5 from the choir?
You're such a romantic.
You know what I'm saying, bro? That's the way to do it. But, you know, we're going to wrap this podcast up here. We're going to do this every single week. I'm going to drop these. Going to be recorded on Tuesdays and dropped on Wednesday nights. Obviously, not podcast. That's the whole name of it. If anything happens between Tuesday night and Wednesday night and you guys are like, oh, you're late, go fuck yourself. That's just how it is. Eventually, we're going to actually stream these live when we have enough people, actually, that watch these things. So, if you want to see that...
You mean listen?
Huh?
Because right now we're on. You mean listen? Because right now we're on the audio.
Listen, yeah, you're right. You know, this will eventually be put up on Spotify in the future. So if you guys want on Spotify, you know, bump the numbers up, and you will get put on Spotify. I just gotta make it worth my time. Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe. Also, you know, if you are in southern Texas right now, there is a current hurricane that's coming your way. The Pamela. The Pamela is on its way. It's a Category 2 storm, so be careful if you live in southern Texas, Corpus Christi. I have people that live in Corpus Christi, so Jennifer, I know you're down there. Be careful, stay safe, protect yourself, and don't get hurt. Like I said, fuck liberals. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding. I was about to say I'm not kidding, but I'm not. Have a good day. Don't commit any crimes unless you need to. Gambling is good for you. I encourage gambling addiction. Noah, do you encourage gambling addiction? See, that's what I thought. See, he agrees. All right. Thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. Go fuck yourself.